The ancient Gaul, where rolling hills met dense forests and tranquil rivers, was the home for many Celtic tribes, such as the Arverni, Aedui, and Belgae. They lived in small villages and hill forts, and their economy was based on agriculture, trade, and craftsmanship. Theirs was a land of warriors, poets, and druids, where honor and valor were cherished above all else. Yet, their world was on the brink of irrevocable change, for a storm was brewing on the horizon, the storm of Julius Caesar's ambition. It was the year 58 BCE when Julius Caesar turned his gaze toward the land of Gaul. His reasons were a blend of personal ambition and political calculation. Caesar's goal was to achieve glory on the battlefield and to enrich himself by exploiting the resources of Gaul through conquest and taxation. As Caesar's legions ventured into Gaul, they brought with them a relentless tide of Roman conquest. The Celtic tribes, though fierce and proud, were divided and unprepared for the onslaught. Caesar's strategic genius quickly became evident as he exploited tribal rivalries, formed alliances with friendly tribes, and systematically defeated those who dared to defy him. Amidst this turmoil, a name began to echo through the hills and valleys of Gaul: Vercingetorix. Born to the Arverni tribe, Vercingetorix was a charismatic chieftain with a vision. He saw the impending storm and recognized the urgent need for unity among the Celtic tribes. With fiery speeches and boundless charisma, Vercingetorix embarked on a mission to rally the tribes against their common enemy. His voice carried not only the weight of his words, but also the hopes of an entire people yearning to be free. His rallying cry echoed through the sacred groves, and warriors from various tribes began to gather beneath his banner. Initially, Vercingetorix refrained from launching direct assaults on Caesar's legions, opting instead to conduct raids on foraging parties and supply caravans. Gallic forces suffered a terrible defeat against the Romans in the battle of the fortified town of Avaricum. Using siege towers and artillery, the legion breached Avaricum's walls, looted and pillaged the settlement, and massacred thousands of Gauls. Vercingetorix's next major confrontation with Roman legions occurred at the hilltop fortress of Gergovia. The Arverni chieftain, knowing the terrain well, planned a brilliant defense. Gergovia stood as a formidable stronghold, its towering walls seemingly invincible. Vercingetorix's warriors fought with unyielding courage, driving back the Roman legions time and again. Caesar found himself outmaneuvered by the tenacity of the Gallic defenders and was forced to retreat. Vercingetorix's triumph garnered the support of numerous additional Gallic tribes for his campaign. The final battle between Caesar's legion and Vercingetorix's forces occurred at the fortified town of Alesia in 52 BCE. Caesar, recognizing the threat Vercingetorix posed, gathered his legions for a decisive siege. Vercingetorix coordinated a united Gallic defense. Inside the walls of Alesia, Celtic warriors from various tribes held firm, defending their land and their culture. Outside, an army of reinforcements attempted to break the Roman siege lines. Caesar responded with a cunning strategy. He encircled Alesia with not one but two walls, one facing outward to keep the reinforcements at bay, and another facing inward to contain the city. As the siege wore on and food supplies dwindled, Vercingetorix faced a difficult decision. With the odds stacked against him and the plight of his people in mind, he made the painful choice to surrender. He emerged from the gates of Alesia, resplendent in his tribal regalia, and offered his sword to Caesar. The capture of Vercingetorix signaled the end of organized Gallic resistance against Roman rule. He was taken to Rome and imprisoned for 6 years. In 46 BCE, as part of Caesar's triumph, Vercingetorix was brought forth. He stood before the jeering crowds, defiant to the last, but powerless in the face of Rome's might. After the triumph, he was ceremonially strangled at the Temple of Jupiter. Though Gaul would be forever altered by Roman rule, The legacy of Vercingetorix and his brave warriors lives on in the annals of history. Their story serves as a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the human spirit can rise to defend what it holds dear.